welcome to the Hearing Test Centre. How can I help you? Yeah, that's fine. You can do that here. Have you ever had a hearing test before? No. Okay, so you've never been here for a hearing aid or anything like that? No. Okay. I'm just going to take some details from you. Okay, can I take your first name, please? Okay. And your last name? And can I have your address, please? Yeah. Thank you. Come on. Sorry, we've got this new system fitted. It's a bit fiddly. Fantastic. And your telephone number, please, if you've got a home one. Yeah. And do you have a mobile? Lovely. And do you have an email address? Is that .co.uk or .com? Okay. One moment. And could I have your date of birth, please? Could I ask if you've just come to drop in and get your hearing checked, or were you referred? You were referred by your doctor. Okay, can I just take your doctor's name, please? Okay, and do you know which surgery that is? Is that on Green Lane? Yes, that's fantastic. Got it in the database. Okay. Can I just ask why you were referred? Okay. Has this happened before, or was this the first time? Right. Okay. the popping happen on the first flight out, or did it happen on the way back? Okay. Did you have any trouble on the way back? Okay. When were they popping? When you were on holiday? Okay. Wow, that must have been a tall hotel. Great. Oh, and your fast lift as well. Okay. Wow, you went on a helicopter ride. That's cool. I'll just fill out a new patient form. I've got your card, your patient number's on the back. Okay, calm it down. Just give you that there. You just go into room 3. A specialist will be with you in a couple of minutes. Oh, hi. Take a seat. I'll be one moment. Sorry about that. Hi, I'm Charlotte. I'll be your hearing specialist today. Oh, yes. Okay. Okay, so a new patient here. Okay. What I'll do as you're a new patient, I'll just quickly run through what we're going to do today. The first thing is what I call a hearing history, and it's just a series of questions where I ask you what job you do, a little bit about your family hearing history, what sort of problems you've been having. Then I'm going to do an internal examination of your ear. I'm just going to use this otoscope here, and all it's going to do is shine a little light inside your ear canal so I can have a look at the drum and all the bits around it, just to make sure that there's nothing in there that shouldn't be really. Then I'm going to use this machine here, and it's got a little plastic tip, kind of like the ones you'd use if you were listening to music, and that just goes inside your ear and it causes a little bit of pressure between the tip and the eardrum, and it just moves your eardrum. And all I'm looking for is to see that your eardrum is moving as it should and everything's working as we'd expect. Then I'm going to take you in the sound booth next door, and we're going to do an air conduction test. And I'm going to play you a series of varying frequencies just to see what level you can hear. And then the last thing we're going to do is a speech test. And all that is I'll be whispering into your ear from 1 to 10, and this is just to detect at what level you can hear speech really. Okay. So, just start off with the questions. So have you noticed any difficulty in your hearing? No, just say if you're listening to a conversation or you're watching the TV. Okay. Did this problem that you're having now, did it come on gradually or suddenly? Right. So you didn't notice anything before the flight? And is there any hearing loss in your family? Okay. Right, how long she had that? Okay, was that caused by an injury to her ears, or did they just come on normally? Okay. And how old is your mum? What's your job? Okay. Are you exposed to any loud noises? Right. So moderate then. Nothing like a pneumatic drill. And are one or both of your ears affected with this? Right. And do you get the ringing in, or just the one? Okay. Were you subject to chronic loud noise as a child? No. Okay, that's fantastic. Do your ears ring at all for long periods of time? And how long does that normally last? Okay. Do you get any pain with it? Okay, no pain. Do you have any dizziness or vertigo? How did it feel? It sounds like mild vertigo. Did you feel sick with it at all? Okay. How long did it take to stop? Yeah, that's about right. It's actually quite a common occurrence for people with ear problems to have vertigo after a long flight. Did you see the doctor about that? Okay. Did you have any ear infections as a child? Okay. And do you notice environments where it's challenging to follow conversation? So if you're at a party or there's a few people in the house, do you struggle to follow a normal level conversation? Yeah. Which is normal, yeah, we'd expect that. Okay. And what medications are you on, if any? And how long have you been on those? Is that a lifetime medication? Fantastic. Pleased to form my pad there. Just pop this in here. Fantastic. If you just sit there, I'll just get the otoscope when we do the visual. I'm just going to use this otoscope to check inside your ears and make sure that there's not a huge build-up of wax or anything in there that shouldn't be. If you just sit still, I'll just have a look. Looks fine in that one. No, everything looks fine in your ears. There's a little bit of wax in there, but not a huge build-up, nothing to cause any issues. I'm going to do now, I'm just going to pop this. Anyway, it's just like an earbud, and it's going to put some air inside. It's going to put a little bit of pressure, and it's just going to move your eardrum, and I'm going to see if your eardrum is responding correctly, like a normal, healthy eardrum should. Put a fresh put on. I'm just going to put this up here. Sitting comfortably. Okay. Just going to get the back. And you'll just feel some blowing now. going to do the same for the other ear. No. Let's pop it up here. Let's turn the machine on. Yeah, you should start to feel a little bit of pressure in there again, but nothing painful. Let's check them out. Okay, it looks like your right ear is a little bit worse than your left ear, not massively. However, you do look like your left is the strongest ear. Are you all comfy? Fantastic, I'll just get the headphones. Okay. Got some super long headphones here. Just gonna plug that in and done. Okay, make sure they're on the right ears. I can't just get that on you. There we go. Get those plugged in, and I'm going to give you your button, just the mouse, extend it there, plug it in. All you need to do is click when you hear, whether it's really loud or very, very quiet. If you hear a noise, you click the button, okay? Just want to test it. And again. Fantastic. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be sat in there in the sound booth, playing you the noises and recording the clicks. And after this, we'll go back and I'll collate all the data and I'll let you know what I found. Okay, fantastic. You may take your headphones off now. Okay, the last test we're going to do is a speech test. Not testing your speech, but we're just testing the levels at which you can detect conversation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to whisper in your ears, and I want you to tell me what number was the last number you could hear. Okay? Right, I'll start with this one. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so what was the last number you could hear? Think about this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. Okay. It looks like your left ear did better on that test, whereas you stopped hearing anything after 6 with your right, which is consistent with the other test we did. That's fantastic. I'm going to write up these notes and I will see you back in the office. Okay, I've had a look at all the data that we've done, and the good news is that there is nothing majorly wrong with your hearing. You've got the normal amount of hearing loss for somebody your age. Everybody's hearing will deteriorate eventually. You have these tiny little hairs in your ear, and when they're damaged, they never grow back. So if you listen to really loud music when you're younger and continue listening to that loud music, you'll find your hearing will deteriorate. So that's nothing to worry about. There wasn't any wax inside your ear. However, you do have a blockage, and I think what you actually have is something called eustachian tube dysfunction. Have you ever heard of that before? No? Okay. Let's see if I can draw a diagram. So this is your ear here. Then you've got your ear canal there, and that there is your eardrum. Going down here to your throat. Pardon me, is your eustachian tube. And what happens in your eustachian tube? You have air inside of there, and the air inside your eustachian tube and on the outside are meant to be of the same pressure. Now what happens is the cells inside your ear actually absorb some of this air, and your ear opens up when you yawn or sometimes you swallow. It opens up and lets new air in there. This is blocked. You'll find that the pressure is different from inside to outside, which is one of the reasons that you have trouble when you're on a flight, because obviously the air pressure when you're flying changes so rapidly. The bad news for this is it's not something that we can fix. We can't just give you something and it'll go away. However, there are remedies that you can try. Chewing is one if you feel like it's blocked, or you get a little bit of ringing, because tinnitus is a side effect of eustachian tube dysfunction. So you could maybe yawn, that will pop your ear, or if you try chewing gum. Do you find it gets worse when you've got a cold? That will happen because your tubes obviously get excess mucus in, and that will block it up. You could try some decongestants. Maybe try some natural decongestants first. I'd also suggest, if you are flying, not to sleep during takeoff and landing. And this is because of your eustachian tubes, you have to regulate the air pressure inside your ears more often than others. So if you're sleeping during takeoff or landing, you can't actually do that. So if you could stay awake and continue what you're doing, swallowing the water, you're doing the right thing. Apart from that, I'll see if I've got any literature. Got a little bit of literature on what it is, and it shows you a better diagram than what I did. It shows your eustachian tube there, which leads to the back of your throat, and that's the air coming up. What else? Colds. Yes, you will notice if you get a cold or if you suffer from allergies. It will get worse, but that's due to the mucus build up, and it will just build up in the tubes. It's got a little bit of advice on air travel, and what you can do for it. Antihistamine tablets, nasal spray. None of these are really a fix. However, the good news is usually this will go away on its own. It will come back if you've got a cold or you're allergic to something and you're bunged up a bit. However, this will sort of go on its own after a short while. So if it gets really bad and you find your ears are popping all the time, just follow some of the advice on this sheet and hopefully it will go away. So do you have any other questions? Let's give you those. That's fantastic. I'll see you later. I'll show you out.